And action call.
Oh, my boobs out. Shit!
You said booby and
I think
everyone's brain
under
went-
boob.
Everyone
My
lost
mind went
it.
to
We all
under
went
boob.
somewhere else.
Side boob, under boob. Tell me when you're ready.
And action.
Oh yeah, all this trouble on my mind. Oh yeah, all this trouble on my mind.
What up, everybody? Amber Stoneman with Nashville Unsigned, hanging out on the lovely red couch with BRE Kennedy. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we've seen you bouncing around. We see you everywhere. You're all over the place. We saw you
Tis
live.
Nashville.
Yeah.
The smallest city ever.
We saw you live not that long ago.
Yeah, you guys were at the five spot.
And that was killer.
Thank you.
Absolutely insane.
That night was awesome.
That was so
It was
awesome. That place was
magical.
packed.
It was one
Yeah.
of those nights too where all I wanted to do was just stay home in bed, and I
Yep.
was in my own head. And you're right, it was totally packed, and it blew my mind, and it really lifted my spirits up a lot.
Yeah, that was so great. And
Yeah.
so that was the first dose of you that I had ever experienced, and
First
Patrick as
time.
well. And we're like,
Thanks for
what?
coming.
This is crazy. So we're kind of seeing you float around, and we know you're
Yeah.
friends with one of our alumni, Mr. Samuel Lee. Shout out to
Yeah.
Samuel Lee, man. So tell us how you got to Nashville, and
I drove here in my Nissan Maxima.
ooh, gotta love
Yeah.
those Nissans. Great on gas mileage.
Barely made it.
Shout
Yeah,
out.
barely made it, but it's still kicking. No, I was living in Los Angeles, where I know Kyle from a little bit.
Kyle Reynolds, shout out.
Yeah, I was working like 3 jobs, and I loved it, and I was writing out there. But everybody I met was like, you should go to Nashville. And to me, it was like I'd never been. So I went out 3 or 4 times, and I saw Jillian Jacqueline play at the Tippler, which is no longer around anymore. It was such a cool place, and I walked in, I think Mark Beeson was playing, and Jillian Jacqueline. And they didn't know who I was, but I cried, and I went home, and I was like, I have to move here.
Aww.
And so I made the plan on February 4th, 2015. And then I drove across country. It was the best thing ever. But I didn't think I was going to stay. I thought I was going to be here Airbnb for like 3 months. And then I just kept calling my dad saying, I'm going to stay a little bit longer. And then I fell in love. And then I was like, I'm going to stay a little bit longer. And then... and Nashville totally stole my heart.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, we
Best
love
move
the
I've ever
fact
made.
that you're here, and it's
Me
a great
too.
city for what you do and being a songwriter.
For
So
me.
tell us what you have out right now, like what's going on with your music,
Yeah.
and what where can we find that?
All I have out right now is a song called Words. I write for other artists quite often, so I was kind of just indulging myself in that. And a lot of my friends and my boyfriend, who actually produced that record, they were like, just put it out and just see how people respond. And I did, and it was the best decision I've ever made. So if any artist ever has a fear that their stuff's not good enough, just put your shit out and just let the world
the people
decide, and then
decide,
just
yeah.
put it to bed. Because you don't know how many people actually do want to hear or are ready to hear what you have. So after that, Lightning 100 made me their Artist of the Week, which was so awesome. And really, shout out to them because
They're so great,
they are
great supporters.
changing
of the
lives
independent
here in
scene.
Nashville. Yeah, it's a really, really amazing support, and they don't have to do it.
Yeah. And did I read that you wrote some stuff with 4 Echo Smith?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a really exciting thing too, because I work with Cobalt a little bit, and
Dude, shout out to them too. That is so
Shout out to them.
forward. They're so forward in
Absolutely.
the music game, and
they're connecting everybody, and they connected me to my dear friend Dan Makala, who lives here in Franklin, is a pop producer here.
Nice.
For anyone who says there's not pop here, there is. Everyone just needs to
pop
connect.
right now.
There is.
And so much
There
pop.
is. Nashville's incredibly talented. And we met in Los Angeles, and at the time I was writing for other artists, and so when I moved here, we just spent like a year writing stuff, and he was like, they're looking for stuff. Do you want to write a song? And we wrote a song called Future Me, which ended up being one of their singles. Yeah.
Nice.
It was a really sweet surprise for this year.
That's so
I just
awesome.
danced in front of Dino's. And
Aww.
I was like,
So
this is so cool.
there's this beautiful thing happening right now, and we call it, at Nashville Unsigned, we call it the rise of the songwriter. The songwriter to artist. So where was that like point where
Yeah.
you're like, I want to do like the artist thing
Yeah.
as well as songwriting? Like
Yeah.
where was it that you were like, I want to kind of be the person singing
In front of the
my
camera.
music?
Yeah. It was a journey for me. I started out really young, around 14, 15, and I was really angsty, and I was like, I don't want to be in front of the camera right now, and I don't know what I want to say by myself. And it was really important to me to find what I wanted to say, because my favorite artists knew what they wanted to say, and I hadn't quite found that yet. So I think around like 18, I was like, I like going into sessions and sweats and meeting people and just drinking, even though I shouldn't have been drinking at 18, and not being in front of the
You
camera.
know, we're doing a little
Yeah.
something like that.
You just
I
gotta
may have
figure it
been
out at
in
a young
with
age.
an underage in my lifetime.
I just got it all out early on, and don't tell my dad that.
It's okay, Dad.
He knows.
You didn't hear nothing.
He knows.
Earmuffs.
I think I'm a good drinker now.
You're a professional now.
I don't know about
You know?
that.
I think at one point, like, I was like, I couldn't gauge it. It would be
Totally.
like a little buzzed or like blackout. And I'm like, what? How?
When I moved here,
did this happen?
2-for-1s were like
The thing.
the thing. I was like, yeah, I will have another one with my previous.
Yeah, since I already purchased the other one, the other one's free.
Yeah,
Okay?
that was definitely a balance for me.
Mm-hmm.
I actually just took a month off of drinking, and it was awesome.
I feel you.
I think it did reset
Uh-huh.
me.
Yeah.
I can have 2 bullets and be like, okay, that's
Ooh, bullets.
Yeah.
Yes.
I enjoy
Yes.
fine. I shouldn't. It's like poison, but
I love it. Well, whiskey and bourbon run
Yeah.
through our veins here in Nashville, so
definitely mine today.
that's the way to go. Tell us something weird or strange, just something a lot of people don't know about you, that is going to kind of let people meet the artist behind the music.
I mean, I'm a really weird person. I really love SpongeBob. I have almost a very odd obsession with it. I can probably quote every episode.
It's so subliminal, you know? Like
Oh, it's brilliant.
It's so brilliant. It is
SpongeBob
so
is brilliant.
brilliant. It is so brilliant, but it is so subliminal. Like when you actually sit there and watch
Yeah.
everything and read into everything, you're like,
All of it.
I've been fed all this sexual innuendo for so long, and I had no idea.
It's very true. Maybe that's why I liked it. I don't know.
That's awesome.
And my laugh sometimes sounds like the squeaking of basketball shoes on a gym court. It just
Yeah.
sounds like a squeak, and
Because
it's
you have this like raspier voice.
yeah.
So,
And sometimes it scares
like,
people.
kind of like that. Like
yeah,
a seal
I'm
a
sure
little
it's
bit.
happened at some point, and I didn't even realize.
Mine's like a
it.
cackle. I wish when I'm
I cackle.
Oh yeah, in my younger years I try to control it, and then now since we
Don't,
have
just
these,
let
it's
it.
like and it's so ugly. It's like ugly crying, but ugly laughing, and so,
I love ugly crying and laughing. It's full expression. Just do it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So our wild segment is what have you learned, dude? And you're a very bright young lady, so I know you've got something good
Oh,
in
I
your
love that.
tank.
I love that question a whole lot. First, I would say trust your vision.
Mm-hmm.
That is one thing that I think every artist needs to hear more ever than get a number one.
Mm-hmm.
Just trust your vision. My second thing would be nice to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I spend a lot of time probably weighing out outcomes that aren't even a thing and would never even happen. And I start from worst to best
Uh-huh.
rather than just going straight to
Yeah.
that could be great
Yeah.
for me. And thirdly, connecting with that, surround yourself with good people
Oh,
that
that's so
believe in what
important.
you're doing
Mhm.
and can lift you up and have wine night with you and just be like a totally normal person.
I'm like, I'm there.
Yeah, vision's
Aw.
super important.
That's
And
so
reminding
awesome.
yourself that your journey totally matters.
And even for one person, just
Totally.
even if it's just one
Totally.
person to be like, this
Yeah.
is what you did for me. Like that is probably enough
Yes.
fuel in your tank to last 3 weeks.
Yeah,
for the
I think
next
so for
person to
me.
be like, hey,
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. Well, guys, BRE Kennedy in the house. You are so fantastic.
Thank you.
We are going to sync her up on socials, website, all that good stuff, and keep you guys posted as she rolls out new stuff, which
Yes,
is happening
in
like
January.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. So we will keep you guys posted on everything.
Thank
Thank
you
you
for
so
having
much for being here, and we will sync her up and get you guys addicted.
We out.
You're welcome.
Somewhere